Hey there, friends. It's Lyn Lindbergh, and this is the Couch to Active podcast. If you have recently taken on a new job or moved into a new home or had a big monkey wrench in your life that really changed what you do day in and day out, this episode is for you, because what we're going to do is I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you the 8 things that cover about 80% of folks' health and wellness journey. So if you come to me and you say, hey, Lynn, I've got this goal. I want to eat better. I want to feel better. I'm tired. I'm lethargic. I have no motivation to get off the couch and exercise. Even though I know my body needs to exercise, I'm just like, blah, don't want to do it. My couch is too cozy. I'm tired. I'm stressed out. My kitchen, I'm too tired and stressed to even deal with my kitchen and the food in it. But I need you to help me, Lynn. I got to figure this out because I know I have to, but it just makes me go, don't want to. Yeah. So if you relate, maybe I'm the only one. Oh, you guys, the reason I preach this stuff is not so much because I'm so awesome. It's because I have to remind myself of this all the time too. I'm living it with you every single day. So if that's you, if you're feeling it or not feeling it, I'm going to go through in this podcast today the 8 things that make the most impact of what, like if you actually called me up or signed up online and hired me to help you with this, these are the 8 things we go over and over, and you're getting them free today. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go through that today. And then my loyal listeners who've been around all 571 episodes now, thank you. I hope you've enjoyed the crazy ride. And you probably noticed we had a 3-month gap. So we're going to, in this podcast, so a little bit later on, I'm going to tell you what was going on there, why the gap. You'll hear that throughout this episode. Got to practice what I preach, you friends. Practice what I preach. That's part of what was going on. So I'll tell you what was happening there. And then at the very end, I'm throwing in a curveball, a topic that has nothing to do with any of it, but that's very relevant right now. And that is talking just a little bit about Tai Chi and what that is and why it's so amazing for your balance and your coordination, and why I'm recommending Tai Chi as a practice. Not to be confused with, I hope I said it right in the first place, not to be confused with a chai tea latte. This is Tai Chi, the practice. We're adding Tai Chi to our bank of classes. We have 5 instructors. We have 15 classes a week. We're adding Tai Chi, and I keep calling it. Oh, I just did, didn't I? Tai Chi, chai tea latte. I keep calling it chai tea. We're bringing in a chai tea class. I don't know why I think that's so funny. Maybe I'm just embarrassed. It's my way of coping. So, all right, you guys. Okay, here we go. You just started a new job, or you just moved to a new home, or you're now caregiving for one of your parents, or you're going through a divorce, or you're having your own health issues, or you're like me and you've recently gone through all of the things, all of them in the last couple of years I've gone through. Wow, I'm doing a lot of laughing to coping with my stress. You know what? It's actually good. It's a great stress relief and it's good. I can recognize it, but holy cow. All right, here we go. Your crazy mentor going to talk to you about the 8 things. Here we go. Let's go through. Here are 8 things. When somebody comes to me and says, hey, Lynn, I want you to help figure this out. I want to be more healthy. I want to be more well. I don't want it to be a big deal. I don't want to be a health nut. I don't want to suck all the joy out of my life and be like, gotta eat the celery again. Bah, I can't ever, in the pursuit of trying to love my life more, I cannot love what I eat. I must torture myself with exercise. I know. If that's you, yeah. Here's the 8 things. Let's just get into it. Also, I want you to filter in your brain every one of these 8 things. And I want you to say, be ruthless, like literally be brutal and ruthless. Every one of these 8 things. I want you to ask yourself this question. How can this help me love my life more? And seriously, be ruthless. And if you don't have a good answer, if I say, here's step number 1, do this. And you're like, I don't get it. I don't see. That makes no sense to me. I want you to dig in and really own that you're not seeing it, because these things are pretty indisputable. And if you don't see it, then I want you to dive in and dig in even deeper and see how can this actually help you love your life more. Because here's the thing, y'all. I have become more and more acutely aware the last couple of years, especially, of it's because I'm 51 years old. That's why I'm a half a century old. This is why I'm like, why am I becoming? We're only here on Earth for a short amount of time. And time just goes by faster and faster. And I remember when I was 20 years old, the old people who were 30 and 40 years old, I know, I'm 50 now, 51. They used to tell me, time goes by so much faster when you get older. Enjoy it while you're young. Yeah, now I'm that old person saying that, because seriously, I feel like I am on a speeding, out of control roller coaster, flipping all over the place, and I'm grabbing onto the side handrails of this roller coaster saying, slow down, slow down, slow down. I don't want this ride to end. Yeah, I wish I had 100 years left, but I'm 51. So I know I don't have 100 years left unless there's some huge scientific advancements, and that can make us actually feel healthy. So I digress. Yes, I digress. Let's go back to these 8 basic things. And I want you to filter it through how it helps you live your life more fully, how it helps you love and enjoy your life more, because that's what it's all about. If you came here listening, hoping I would help teach you how to do some vain pursuit of getting your body to look good, well, a lot of these things help do that. And I am not for shaming people who are all about making their bodies look a certain way. If that's your goal, you can do it. I'm about loving life and enjoying the time we have on Earth. So let's get it right into it. Numero uno, number 1, sleep. You are not a robot. You are not a superhuman. You are a hunk of biology. Your bones, your muscles, your blood, your all kinds of things. You are a piece of biology. You are a human animal, and we have to sleep. So here's what you got to do for step number 1. Give yourself the 3-day sleep test. Think about your calendar for the next 30 days. Do you have 3 days in a row in the next month where you can sleep, be in bed? There we go. Be in bed with no distractions, no phone, no devices, no podcasts, be in bed uninterrupted for 8 hours, 3 days in a row. If you cannot find that easily, and if that idea gives you a little bit of panic, it makes you go, I've got this, I've got that. I've got a sick dog who wakes me up in the middle of the night. I've got a kid. I've got an elderly parent I'm taking care of. I've got my own issues. I have to get up and pee 12 times at night. Yeah. Okay. Excuses, all valid excuses. But if you cannot find 3 days in a row where you're in bed for 8 hours, Houston, you got a problem. Yeah. And this is something you just can't keep making excuses for and can't keep ignoring. You gotta look at it. So how does that make you feel like you're loving your life? Man, I didn't think I was going to be quite so preachy immediately, but that's okay. The second one, now that you're a little stressed out about trying to get in your sleep, here's the second one. And before I go into the second one, I got to pause and say, these are the 8 things that I review with my one-on-one clients over and over and over again, because they make the biggest impact. Okay. And they seem basic, but number 1 alone could be hard. Number 2, now that we're stressed out about sleep, and number 2, how is your stress? Yeah. How is your stress level? And many of us are stressed out and anxious enough that we don't actually realize how anxious we are until we really start tuning into it. And then when we realize how anxious we are, that makes us even more anxious. So this is another whole huge topic that could include a stack of self-help books, a stack of self-help podcasts, therapy, a counselor, really coming around to building a life where you aren't anxious all the time. And that could be, like me, making some really huge, tough decisions. It could be coming to a point where you have to make some tough decisions that at first look like they're going to blow up your whole life. Maybe you need to get a new job. Maybe you need a new relationship or no relationship. Maybe you need to set boundaries. Maybe you need to start learning how to say no without freaking out and feeling like you're going to have a stroke. Yeah, stress. That's a huge one. I know you're like, wait, I thought these were going to be 8 easy things, like put flaxseed on your granola, which is great, by the way. Or yogurt. My brain thought yogurt. My mouth said granola. No, these are real. Okay. Step number 3. These aren't steps in a row, but let's look at this. When I'm working with folks and they're like, how do I do this? What's the easiest thing? Here we go. When it comes to food, 2 things we have to come back to over and over and over again. And I don't care if you think you're a health nut, these are relevant and they come back over and over again. So I'm sneaking 2 things into step number 3. First, get rid of as much sugar as humanly possible. That's right. I know. We've done multiple episodes on sugar. Get rid of as much sugar as you can. Take a really gosh darn honest look. Get rid of that sugar. Number 2, try as best as you can to eat things that don't come out of a box. Yeah. Yep. Do your very best. If it comes in a box or a crinkly package, try to go for things that don't come, the whole foods. All right, here we go. We're going to keep going through the rest of these pretty quickly there. Now, that's a tough one though. How do you change how you eat and still feel like you live a life you love? And for me, the concept, it's all about balance. Well, kind of. And our body needs things. And even me, those of you who know, I had a pretty significant weight loss last year. There's a lot of podcasts about that going on last year that I have maintained for 7 months now. And eating really well in a sustainable way, healthy foods I love and enjoy, really has become a part of a life I love. And with that, I still eat my donuts now and then. In fact, I usually eat 2 donuts. I usually don't just eat 1. Yeah. And I still do alcohol now and then. Even though my tolerance for it is, not like it used to be, which is probably a good thing. Okay. Number 4, hydration. The rule of thumb, I know you got to start taking notes here. Yeah. you're like, oh yeah, I really should drink more. This makes a big difference, you guys. You guys, it makes a really big difference. You gotta hydrate. You gotta drink your water. Quit saying I'm busy. Quit saying, but my glass is way over there. Get yourself a water bottle and literally carry it around with you everywhere you go. You run an errand, you take that leak-proof water bottle and you put it in your bag. I love the fact that the Stanley Cup has become so fashionable and everybody's carrying around their little water bottles everywhere they go. I love it. I love it. I love it because it really helps folks drink more water for sure. If you are thirsty, you're behind. Yeah. Rule of thumb for water. And then we're going to move on. The rule of thumb is you take how much you weigh in pounds. This works in pounds. Divide it in half. That's how much water you should drink in a day. That's your rule of thumb. And yes, all liquids do count. Yes, things that dehydrate you, like caffeine and alcohol, means you should drink more water. Yes, if you eat soup, there's liquids in that. If you're eating more of a whole foods diet, there's liquids in your fruits and your vegetables that aren't in a lot of these processed foods. So, it gets a little complicated, but rule of thumb, take your weight, divide it by 2. That's how much you should drink for the average normal person. This pretty much holds true even if that number on the scale for you is sky high. And yes, I can say sky high because if your number on the scale is sky high, you get it. You're with me, Yeah. Yeah, it pretty much holds true there too. Your body needs it. Needs it. Okay, number 5. Number 5, I'm not going to say exercise. We're going to say movement. Moving your body. So think about this. How does this help me live a life I love? I'm moving my body. I am doing laundry. I'm doing yard work. I'm doing stairs. How do I move my body all day, every day? If you have a house where you have stairs, that is super awesome. If you're like me and you live at a place where you have to go down a flight of stairs and then up 2 flights of stairs, yeah, that's what I have right now. Down a flight of stairs and up 2 flights of stairs. It is awesome because I'm hitting the stairs all the time, every day, whether I want to or not. And really, folks I coach who live in an environment where they don't have stairs in their home, and they don't have hills in their neighborhood where they walk, it makes a negative difference. So anyhow, I digress. Movement. So that includes your exercise, but really, really pay attention to a lot of times when we're on the couch, hanging in our lazy boy, sleeping in our bed, our body doesn't want to move because it wants to rest. And it could be because we're too fatigued in the first place. It could be because we're stressed out. Our body is scared. It wants to hide. We're not hydrated, so we're lethargic. We haven't been sleeping, so we're tired. You see? Yeah, Yeah. But even if you get your sleep, your stress, your hydration, and your nutrition figured out, the couch to active is still the hardest of them all. So that's an important one. The next one is your mindset around all of this. And that's a huge one I'm not even going to go into. But mindset is a big piece. Do I think I can actually do this? Do I actually believe it's doable? If I don't believe it's doable, let's get radically creative. How do we make it doable? How do we do this? Yep. And then 2 more, we're just going to fly through here. Then number 7, what doctor appointments have you been putting off? What blood work do you need to get done? What tests do you need to get done? What results are you dreading that you don't want to know about? Do you need to check out those blood sugar levels? Do you need to get that A1C tested? Were you told you're pre-diabetic and now you don't want to go to the doctor because you're afraid they're going to put you on meds because you're fully diabetic? Yeah. What is that for you? Get those doctor appointments made. Yes. How does this help me love my life? And then finally, the last one, I have to bring this one up over and over again because it is so relevant for so many of us. Alcohol. How much are you drinking? Are you absolutely, totally cool not drinking anything for more than a week? Yes. Long, awkward pause. I'm not afraid to go there with you. That topic is super complex. There's a lot to it. And there is no necessarily, you're a raging alcoholic or you're not an alcoholic. Either you're great with alcohol and you've got it, quote, under control, or you're completely out of control with alcohol and your life is going to shit. Like, no, you're, look at it, alcohol's role in your life. Make sure you're totally cool not drinking for a week at a time, at minimum. Make sure that doesn't cause you some anxiety. And if you have any question at all, that's something we definitely want to look at. And you guys know that's true for me. I can't keep it in my house. I drink it if it's in my house. And not to like raging alcoholic. See, look at that stereotype that just came out of my mouth. How ugly. Yeah, ick. But I do. I drink too much, enough to make me just feel terrible the next morning. If it's in the house. So I can't even have it in the house, just like I can't have most kinds of junk food in the house. And that's actually been a piece of helping me live a life I love. Doesn't mean I don't drink. It just means I don't have it in the house, or I will drink 7 days a week. So there you go. When I work with folks, they, come to me and say, hey, Lyn, help me figure this whole thing out. These are the 8 topics we first hit and go through together in detail and work through. How do we really actually implement these in our lives? Because here's the thing. It is really easy to say, yeah, that's for everybody else, or yeah, that's what everybody says, or yeah, I should do that. It's really easy to do that. But if you find yourself saying, yeah, I really should do that, but yeah, I need to get that going, but, or when I retire, I will, or when my kids are older, I will, or when, if you find yourself making excuses for that, what's happening is you're putting a buffer between yourself and the life you actually want to live. You're putting a wall, you're putting up a barrier between yourself and actually advocating for yourself. And a lot of times this comes down to asking ourselves, do we actually believe we're worth it? Are we actually worth taking care of? Yeah. And that's hard. That's hard. That's some of the work I had to do. I was like, this is selfish. If I do all these things for myself, that's selfish. I'm focused on myself. That's self-centeredness. No, it's human. You are a human. I'm a human. And we got to work on these together. And sometimes it's hard. So I got to ask you, how you doing? How you really doing? If you just started that job, just moved to a new house, just started that new relationship, just ended a relationship, you got somebody in your family who's making life hard on you, a friend who's making life hard, a boss who's making life hard on you, and then all 8 of these things are getting neglected because of it, I got to ask, are you living the life you love? Are you getting there? This can be hard stuff. And it gets serious and it gets dark. And that's why I laugh so much, because it kind of helps balance it all out a little bit. So yes. So there we go, you guys. There's the 8 core things to take a look at. Sometimes we just got to get better at saying no too. Yeah. Building boundaries for ourselves so we can live that life. And at the same time, we got to keep it simple. So yeah, 2 more things for you. Why the 1 month gap, 3 month gap in the podcast? A little bit of behind the curtain of my life. And what's this thing about chai tea lattes? Okay. Yes. So we had a 3 month gap in the podcast that was completely unintentional. But 3 months ago, just over 3 months ago, I started a new job. And those of you who know, if you know, you know, you know, Couch to Active is my passion project. I am completely bought into this. I absolutely love the mission of Couch to Active. I love that we are committed to serving blind and visually impaired individuals. You don't have to be blind to participate, but a lot of our folks are, because we made a commitment that this is not really a service that's there robustly in a real strong way. And so we made that commitment, and I am so fully bought into this. And I love the people. I love my clients. I love the work. It brings me so much joy. And we've got a staff of 7 now for Couch to Active working. So we're still tiny, but like, how awesome is that? And so this is my passion project. It's going, it's pretty much running itself, which is really great. We got, oh my gosh, the people we've got on staff now are awesome. Awesome people. And I work corporate gigs, full time as a job too. So I don't really talk about that much here on Couch to Active, but when you think, if you're listening to me on the podcast and you think, what does Lyn know? What does Lyn know? She just gets to tra-la-la and exercise and talk health and fitness. It's like, actually, I do. I get you. I get it. I know what it's like to work a full-time demanding corporate job, because I do it full-time demanding corporate job. And then I do Couch to Active. Yeah, I get it. I know what it's like to have chronic illness and work a full-time job and try to do all this. I know what it's like to move. I just did that 2 months ago. I know what it's like to go through relationships. Yeah, just Google me. You'll find out. Everything I'm not entirely comfortable with, I laugh. So listen to the nervous laugh. That's where the gold is, my friends. No, it's good. It's all good. That's me deflecting. Can you tell I'm still in therapy? Yeah. So like I said, I get it. Life is messy. We're here for a short time. The ride is going way too fast, and we want to enjoy what we got as best as we can and live as fully as we can. And we get to decide for ourselves what that looks like. And for me, that means getting this body of mine, this 50-year-old body that suffers from several chronic illnesses, is getting this body to be as healthy as I can, so that this body of mine will be able to do the things in my life I love. That's how I define it. That's why I make those healthy choices. That's why I make my sleep a priority. That's why I manage stress. For my fibromyalgia, holy cow. Yeah, that's a whole nother podcast. Super, super duper important. So 3 months ago, I started a new job, a new corporate contract, and moved to a new home in the same week. That's right. Yeah. In the same week I moved, I was literally doing my onboarding calls for this new job while I had people in my house helping me pack boxes. And below the video screen, like waist and below, my house was full of boxes. They didn't know this. I didn't tell them. And now if you're listening, and you are somebody from my new job and you're listening to this, it's okay. You can tell me you heard this. I'm fully aware this is a public podcast. Can you imagine? Wouldn't that be weird if I talked about my new job and then folks from my new job heard it, and then they felt like they had to pretend they didn't hear it. Like, that would be really weird. Like, no, I know this is public. You can say, hey, Lyn, I heard it. I heard you talking about us. So anyhow, doing my onboarding phone calls. Oh, I'm so old. Boxes all around me, in like business on top, yoga pants on the bottom, packing. And then the weekend I moved, I had a crew of people. I was so thankful. They came and helped me unpack, got this place functional in the 2-day weekend. And then Monday morning started full time. So yeah, I get it. I get life. Holy cow, life, right? So, yeah, I'm right there with you, living it, doing the best we can, enjoying it as much as we can, working on our self-talk as best we can. So, alrighty. Tai Chi. Did I say it right? Yes, I did. Okay. Boop-a-doo. Quick change of topic, putting in a new cassette tape here. We're going to talk a little bit about Tai Chi. Tai Chi is an ancient form of, not to be confused with a chai tea latte, which I really want to know, is there a relation there at all? Because my brain gets them mixed up. Tai Chi is a form of exercise as we age that is really good at focus, balance, strength and balance on our feet, being able to move with big amounts of control and intention. Now, there's more to Tai Chi than even just that. And like I said, I'm trying to just not say chai tea latte. The reason I bring it up is because at Couch to Active, we are bringing on, starting in July, I'm super excited about this. We are bringing on a Tai Chi instructor. It's going to be a 3-month limited series, July, August, September 2024, once a week. This Tai Chi instructor is coming in. And like I said before, all of our instructors teach so that it's also accessible if you're blind or visually impaired. Now, if you're not blind, you can join us. We would love to have you. Just know that our instruction, we use a lot of words with our instruction, and actually everybody really likes it because you get more instruction than you would in a normal fitness class because our instructors are explaining it more. And so you hear more, you learn more, and then you can be on video for the class or not on video for the class. It doesn't matter. This whole what you look like and whether we can see you or not is not really so relevant in our space. It's really cool. It's really, really cool. So yeah, I know I didn't really tell you too much about what Tai Chi is, but essentially you got to come and you got to try it out and you got to give it the 3 months, because if you do just one Tai Chi class, you'll walk out of it scratching your head with a little bit of a, what the heck is this? I don't get it. And then it usually takes at least 3 months of going to Tai Chi. And after a while, the light bulb turns on and folks say, oh my gosh, this not only is so cool and so great, but this is something I need to do for the rest of my life. And this is something I can actually see my body being able to do for the rest of my life. So that's one thing that's really cool about Tai Chi too, is it's super accessible. You can do it standing, you can do it seated. It is an exercise class. And it's super safe for folks with chronic illness, arthritis, all kinds of joint issues. But you don't have to be old, arthritic, chronic illness, joint issues to join and do it. You still get a lot of benefit out of it. So if that makes you curious, head on over to couchactive.com, get yourself signed up for Group Fitness. And in July, after the July 4th holiday, on Thursdays, once a week, we're having Tai Chi brought into our bank of classes, and I'm super, super excited about that. So, all right, friends, there's our 8 things: sleep, stress, whole foods, hydration, movement, mindset, calling your doctor, and limiting alcohol. Enjoy, have fun. It would be my honor to help you with those. Head on over, check us out, couchtoactive.com. Bye-bye now.